Yo, Big Kids back up in here. It's over, y'all. It's completely over. It's done. Finito. No more Drake. Shout out to Fantastic Hip Hop for giving us this video. How Kendrick Lamar just ended Drake's rap career for good. It's over. No more Drake. That's it. It's done. It's over. So I hope y'all ready for this video. Y'all make sure y'all go subscribe to this channel, that channel. I mean, it's just a click of a button. Y'all hit me. Hey, listen. Subscribe to that new channel I got too. The link is in the description. We about to get into this video, man. We about to get into it. Because we got to understand. It's all over. It's all over, y'all. It's done. It's done. Shout out to Fantastic Hip Hop, man. Yeah, y'all know I don't like holding y'all. Without further ado, let's get it.
Now, when it comes to Drake in this moment, well, there has been so much conversation about where his crash out and what his downfall is meaning at this point, as we are about to enter a new year and Drake is leaning further into things that are just anti-hip-hop in every way possible. Even with all of this said, and Drake being way more interested in hanging out with streamers than he is with rappers, he is still pretending to care about his music career because—
And I got something for Aiden Ross too. I got something for him. I just found out some new information. Well, it's new to me. It might not be new to y'all, but some information just came out. I gotta talk about it. I gotta talk about this. So y'all stay tuned.
Is over everything else. Drake still has a confirmed album with his fellow OVO member Party Next Door releasing. But now, with this said, during Drake's Drizmas event, between all the other humiliating moments that showed us that he is not over the Kendrick Lamar beef one bit, Drake also said that his collab album with P&D was ready to release on December 6th, but for some reason did not. And while when Drake was talking about this, he made it act like the main motive in doing this was to perfect the project and to overall have it have a greater release. With the recent work ethic Drake has been showing he has, I think we all know that that's a clear and bold-faced lie. And even further than that, when we look at why Drake would move his release date when it comes to putting this out into the world, we can also figure out that because of none other than Kendrick Lamar and his album GNX. With all the success that record's been having, it made Drake more scared to step into music's biggest arena than he ever has been.
Somebody trying to step on somebody's album. Somebody's trying to step on somebody's album. I'll tell you, I was looking at Nutty Buddy Fingers. Poetic Flacco. Ashy Ankles. He was breaking down how matter of fact, we're gonna react to it. Just stay tuned, y'all. We're gonna react to it.
And now, beyond Kendrick Lamar putting an album out right before Drake was going to, even beyond its initial release and first few weeks, the impact this album is having on the entire industry is putting Drake in a position where releasing his new album is bound to destroy whatever is left of his legacy. And now, before we get any further into why this is, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. And so now with Drake, despite him trying to deceive all of us by saying that this record he is coming out next is one of the projects he is the most proud of in his entire career and that he can't wait to put it out, I mean, we all know this is not the truth, because aside from Drake just putting off actually dropping and doing anything to build hype for the album properly beyond saying a few words and comments here and there, if Drake really believed this record was going to do anything to save his career, and knowing the way he has made moves in the past, he would have dropped it against any artist on the schedule, even including Kendrick Lamar and GNX, if he actually believed that when going album against album, his songs could outchart and outperform everything that was on Kendrick's project. But now with Drake backing down from even wanting to mess with Kendrick during what would have been going into GNX's third week of tracking.
Yo, Fantastic Hip Hop, what happened to your mic? What happened to the mic?
Which now, considering that GNX had the most successful album release this year when it comes to records that were just released on streaming and did not have singles or physical albums put out in stores and ready to ship, and just capturing how successful that was with the record having all of its songs charting in the third week, which is the first album of—
It sound like you got a little filter on it. Sound like it's a little filter on. I ain't complaining. I love the video. You already know I love when you cook up. You already know it. I just hear a difference. I'm so used to hearing you.
All time to ever do that. Overall, Drake being scared seems like it was the right choice for him, because he knew that if he put out a record during any time while Kendrick was still dominating the charts in a way where he was literally setting records, it would have been seen as a desperate move and something that was only solidifying the type of win Kendrick has had over him in not just their back and forth, but in hip-hop and the music industry as a whole. And with Drake making this album a collab with Party Next Door, and with its purpose of not just being a comeback album from everything Drake has been through, but also for him to lean into his city's roots more than he ever has on one project, Drake now running and trying to lean into what his city stands for musically after Kendrick won the beef, with one of the main points being that he runs everywhere but where he's from, overall would have just been a terrible look. But now what's so genius about this situation, whether it was intended on Kendrick's end by putting it out in this time or not, is that with Kendrick dropping GNX right in the end of November and having its success dominate the rest of the music world for the entirety of 2024 and seemingly for the beginning of next year, he hasn't just taken control of the charts with an entire collection of songs that has made Drake push back an entire record, but now with Drake not dropping because of Kendrick and all of this, because of the current state of his career and where the music industry is going as well. Now for Drake to be able to release this album that he is hoping will be able to give him more time.
Don't drop the P&D album with Party Next Door. Nobody's waiting for that. No, you got to build some type of buzz first. You got to get your buzz right first. Nobody's waiting for that Party Next Door and You album. Put him back in the sweatshop. You go take a vacation. Don't come out yet. Just wait till all the Super Bowl stuff. Like, I don't know if you're trying to ride the Super Bowl wave. It ain't going to work. Don't put that out. Birdie's bond, boy.
Time until his ultimate downfall, and that will be able to give his image just a little bit of positivity in this time where he can't seem to catch any sort of wins. Kendrick has now made Drake's comeback effort harder to happen than ever, and really what the lesson Drake is going to end up learning from this ultimately is that he should have actually just put work into his music career and tried to release something genuinely great as soon as Kendrick Lamar started to ruin his image like we have never seen at this point. Because where we are at now, things are getting too late. Because with this version of Drake currently, where his songs are hardly charting, his reputation has never been in a worse place, and the hype for his new music is at an all-time low. Even after GNX is finally entering weeks where it is not selling over 100,000 copies, which has taken over a month to happen, which is still historic for hip-hop. Drake couldn't drop this project at the end of the year because he would have had to go against one of the other biggest musical stars on the planet right now, and who is not just a part of Kendrick Lamar's Top Dog Entertainment label, but who's also the person who is about to go on an entire stadium tour with him in none other than SZA. And with the hype around SZA's new deluxe version of her SOS album, Lana, there being a Kendrick Lamar feature on that project, which gave him another record that has been nearing the top of the charts, and with this record just putting up massive numbers all across the board. Really, with how bad everything has been at for Drake, he didn't even want to try and compete with SZA at this point. And now entering the new year, things are only going to get even harder for Drake, because on January 3rd, we are already getting a massive release in the rap world with Lil Baby's upcoming record, which while I don't think Drake is worried about not being able to outperform Lil Baby at this point, because he is another artist who has just lost so much hype, despite Drake being bigger than Lil Baby comfortably. Him stepping on the release of a rapper from Atlanta would not be a good look for him, as he would be seemingly ruining a moment and an album that is from a rapper and a community of other featured guests who he wants to.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense, because he still need those Atlanta ninjas. He need Thug. He need whoever he could get from Atlanta. You run to Atlanta when you need a few dollars. No, you're not a colleague. You're a colonizer. Look, he ain't going to step on Lil Baby. He coming out with that Wham. I hope Lil Baby put some money up in that Wham joint. Word up.
To be friends with, and who he is going to need to try and get features from in the future to keep some sort of respect in hip-hop culture. But now beyond trying to keep any of his remaining friendships in rap intact, after this, if Drake wants to drop this album in the rest of January, he will have to go against Bad Bunny, who is releasing a record on January 5th. And while Bad Bunny and Drake do have different audiences for the most part, Bad Bunny is another artist that, with how massive of a superstar he is, their albums will compete on the charts for that top spot, and with Bad Bunny's level of stardom only staying the same, and while Drake's has been going way down, this is going to be an.
I think Bad Bunny gonna wash him. His fan base is a little bit more loyal than Drake's. Not saying that Drake fan base ain't loyal. It's just that they slowly starting to realize who he is. Bad Bunny, he ain't got nothing to be, you know what I'm saying? Like, he ain't got no allegations, or at least that I know about, because I don't really know too much. I know one or two songs from him. I heard one or two songs from him. But as far as I know, yeah. Matter of fact, don't nobody need to rub shoulders with Drake. Drake need to go through his stuff, and everybody just leave him alone. Leave him alone. Go and leave him alone.
Another week that, just like with Kendrick and with SZA, Drake is just straight up scared from entirely. And then after all of the hype from this project, towards the end of the month, Drake is going to have to compete with one of the only artists on the planet who can do entire stadium tours anywhere in the world. And
you definitely don't want it with The Weeknd. You definitely don't want. Look at what The Weeknd made you, man. Wordy's bond, boy. The Weeknd made you. You definitely don't want it with The Weeknd, man.
Who is about to release what is set up to be their final album in none other than The Weeknd. And now with him, beyond being a musical superstar who is going to be rolling out this album with massive marketing events like having an entire film dedicated to it, The Weeknd also has beef with Drake and was involved in everything that went down this year already. And so because of this...
Hey, yo, I was watching this clip. I think it was a TikTok clip or something. It's something somewhere, probably Instagram or YouTube. Man, that joint was... That joint had caption, The Weeknd speaking. I never heard The Weeknd speak, ever. Bro, he was talking, I was like, oh, shit. Yo, that's crazy because I never heard him talk before.
The stakes will never be higher than in this moment for Drake, and since they are both from the same place as well, this head-to-head would be even more personal and intense. And if Drake were to lose at this point where he has already never been in a worse place entirely, taking an L to The Weeknd would just be the end of his career in so many ways, because beyond losing his credibility as a rapper and an MC, he will definitively no longer be seen as the king of the place he is from. And as after this, then the Grammys are coming up and Kendrick may end up sweeping the awards, which will be another major moment, and then of course the Super Bowl will be happening, and we still don't know what else Kendrick Lamar may do from here. And really, with the way things are going, if he is going to be dropping another project around this time as a whole, knowing all of this, and then knowing once Kendrick Lamar performs Not Like Us at the Super Bowl, it will solidify this downfall for Drake like we have never seen it. Altogether, Drake's own fear of Kendrick and inability to garner any sort of hype or just put work into making an actual project of significance has now put his career where it's facing a point where, unless he can create a massive moment in this time where the industry has never been more competitive in terms of the totality of stars releasing music, he is going to be unable to ever win back any sort of respect and come back from the Kendrick beef for good. And so as we enter this year and see how these next few months are going to go, which are seriously going to have some of the most pivotal effects for the next decade on not just hip-hop but all of music, it's going to be so pivotal to see how every single one of these album releases ends up making an impact on the music world, how Kendrick and SZA's momentum continues to control both hip-hop and R&B, and between all of this noise, see if Drake can do anything to even make people care about him and what he has to offer in the slightest. But now, with the way everything has already been going for Drake, him being able to stand within this league and do anything right just seems impossible, because he has given us no reason whatsoever to believe it.
That's why I've been saying, any move that Drake make, it seemed like it's null and void. You can't, it ain't gonna do nothing. He did the 100 gigs. He did the Sexy Red joint. He coming out with streams and all that. Ain't nothing sticking. His best bet is just you need to cool it down, slow it down. You about to lose control. I know I had it in me. Yeah, I know I had it. Wordy's bond, boy.
And his abilities. And even while Drake's back is against the wall and it has never been more important for him to release something that is genuinely of quality, despite the urgency and despite the clock ticking, he really doesn't seem to care, as right within this time as the biggest stars are coming out and Drake is only getting more scared of the competition in the industry, and of course Kendrick Lamar and everything he has going on, from GNX all the way to the Super Bowl, and really all the way to the unknown at this point. Now Drake just seems to be more focused on doing things like not just trying to go after a record and Not Like Us for all the success it has had, but now also beyond just actually getting in the booth and making decent music. He is now leaning more into hanging out with streamers and doing things that just have nothing to do with hip-hop entirely. And because of all of this, and just how close we are to seeing this all-time downfall be solidified in a way like nobody else has ever had happen to them in hip-hop, things have just never seemed worse for Drake. And when we really look back at everything, the way GNX scared him from dropping this new album really just may end up being his most regrettable move ever. And so now, with all this said, let me know, what do you think about Drake pushing back his album because of the success of GNX, and where do you think he is going to go from this point in his career as a whole? Do you think Drake can still outperform people?
We gonna go over some of that Poetic Flacco joint. I know y'all don't like Poetic Flacco, but we gonna see what he cooking up with. I gotta go look at that. I gotta go react to it, cause he said some stuff. He said some stuff in there in his video, and that's along the lines of what Fantastic Hip Hop is saying.
People like The Weeknd and Bad Bunny in first week sales? Or do you think that these guys are going to show that Drake's career is really over more than we have ever seen? Now, I can't wait to hear what you have to say, and if you
It's over. It's over. It's over. It's over. I will leave a link in the description. Y'all let me know. Matter of fact, okay, boom. Yeah, we got some. Hey, we got a lineup, man. I'm telling you, we got a line. We got this new channel that just he is. Matter of fact, I ain't gonna spoil it. I ain't gonna spoil it because I don't even know which video is coming out first. I need to stop doing it because I don't know which video I'm gonna put out first and whatever. So I'm gonna stop telling y'all what I'm about to react to. So yeah, y'all let me know what y'all think, man. Big Kiss signing out. I'm gone, y'all.